Hi, I'm Dustin Warncke. Welcome to this episode. I'm really excited to share the following hunt with you because it is one of my best archery harvests on camera, and it's one of my personal best archery harvests of all time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome to Whitetails. So we start the weekend off on Friday afternoon. It is the second weekend of bow season. I'm really excited to get out in the stand because the previous weekend I was able to get one of the fans of our shows and one of our personal friends, Michael Foster, a doe at the same stand. And you've seen me hunt down here many times before. This is the urban area that I call Brushy Creek, and it's Deer City, Texas, as I call it. There's always deer down there. They always seem to like to move in the evening, and it's an awesome place to hunt. And that's the reason why you see so many hunts down there, is because I continue to see deer and continue to get harvests down there year after year. One of the coolest things about the area that I hunt is it's behind a row of houses and it's in front of a road. So the deer are kind of bottlenecked into the area that we're in. And I always try to keep corn on my feeder and always keep some kind of attractant down there to keep the deer coming in front of my stand. But in this particular evening, I got down there rather late. I was dropping off my son with the grandparents for the weekend, and I was sitting there I was just sweating bullets trying to get there, trying to get into my stand by 6 o'clock, which is relatively late around here to crawl into a bow blind. But I went ahead and did it anyway, and by the time I got down there were already deer at the feeder, and I busted them. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to still sit out here and hunt. I went ahead and poured some more corn out. I ran back into my bow blind and sat out there and waited. Well, nothing came in the evening. Friday evening was a bust. And I figured, man, this is it. I'm going to still sit out here another evening. The weekend is still young. So I come out on Saturday. Now, the issue with Saturday is I had a work obligation, and I was dressed much like I am right here, with dress slacks, a nice button-down shirt. I wasn't in hunting clothes. I was coming from this event late, and it was a school event, so I had to dress nice. And I come to my stand late, and it's 6:30 by the time I get in. The sun is starting to lay low in the sky. It is starting to get dark, and I know sunset is soon. By the time I come down and check the corn on the ground, and my feeder is already spun, the corn's already gone. There's deer that have already moved into the area, eaten, and left. I know my chances are pretty slim to seeing anything else that night, much like the night before. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to pour some more corn out. I'm going to just try to see what I can do with this particular stand, with this particular hunt. I'm not going to let the night be a complete bust. So I decided to sit in my stand and chill out and see what came in. So it's about 7 o'clock, and that's about sundown. We have about between 7 and 7:30 to the end of legal shooting light in Texas. 30 minutes after sunset is what the law says. So I said, you know what, I'm going to hunt till 7:35. Technically, the 7:05 was the end of the time sunset, and I knew 7:35 would be the end of legal shooting light. Lo and behold, I started checking out my Twitter feed and checking out my Facebook feed on my phone, just like we all do in the blind, a lot of us. To pass the time, we check out our cell phones and see what's going on with the world. And I look up, and what do I see? Mr. Big. Now, Mr. Big is a deer that we have been following on game cams since August, when we set up the stand and we set up the feeder for the deer to come in and to check out what we had. Mr. Big seems to be about a 9-point, seems to have a decent spread on him, seems to be about a 120 class deer, and I knew that if I was given the opportunity, I would take it. And here comes Mr. Big right at the end of shooting light and right at the end of my camera light. Now, I apologize for the camera because this camera doesn't film that well on low light, but it was low light for any camera. It really was. So what I did was put down my cell phone, picked up my crossbow, got them in my sights, lined up the shot, and I took the shot. You want to know the real ironic part of this hunt? I'm dressed just like I am right now, except for I took my button-down shirt off and I put on a camouflage shirt and went in the blind. Didn't have have time for my face mask. It was too dark anyway. I knew the deer weren't going to see me that well if they did look into the blind, but my goodness, I was ready to hunt. When that crossbow went off, I knew I had my deer. It was a perfect behind the shoulder shot. I was so excited. I was so pumped. We were just about out of shooting light, and he came in at the absolute last moment possible. But that's Mr. Big. I've been watching him in the preseason, and early season he came out right on time. This is an awesome hunt. Of course, every hunt down here is. Perfect shot. I saw him go down right over there to the east, and getting ready to cross a couple of properties to go get him. I'm a happy camper. The issue with urban bow hunting for me is that there's no real place to film after the shot takes place, after the deer's recovered in the field, okay? Because there's nothing but a bunch of houses in the area. It's a subdivision, it's a neighborhood, and I went ahead and visited my friend Danny Berry over at DB Hunting Ranch, one of my favorite hunting ranches and one of the places I do a lot of work for, and decided to visit him and do my ending scene at DB Hunting Ranch. So I recovered this deer tonight, and he went about 50 yards, and it's one of the nicest deer I've shot down in the area that I was hunting. So super excited about this buck. He's a 9-point. I want to give a shout out to DB Hunting Ranch for letting me use their facility to film the last part of that hunt. I want to also give a shout out to Brizendine's Deer Processing in Bertram, Texas. They did an awesome job on this deer. And I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, because without you guys, this would not have been possible. Grim Reaper broadheads, Luminoc, Luminero bolts, awesome Barnett Buck Commander Extreme crossbow, and just it all came together at the same time. And thank you Thermacell, because you guys kept the mosquitoes off of me that night. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out all of our videos. Check out more from me at dustinsprojects.com.